Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Paul's Pods with DJ El Pablo. Um, Thank you for hopping on this train and embarking on this journey with us because it's a family thing, and so we're gonna roll with this together. And this is episode 1, and we're going to start a series titled Live, Love, and Learn. And I would first start by trying to introduce the series with this first episode so that you can actually understand. And then as we embark on the journey, we're going to be touching a whole lot. We're trying to reach out to a wide range of topic, and everything we're going to be doing in the episode is going to be around this topic or this theme: live, love, and learn. So first off, live, love, and learn. These are 3 basic dimensions of human existence, and everything we do is centered around these concepts or dimensions. The final form or dimension is to make impact, and after these dimensions, that is, around these dimensions, these 3 dimensions I mentioned earlier, to live, to love, and to learn, there is a 4th superior dimension, which is to make impact. And that is, in other words, to leave to leave a legacy. Now, these are all the dimensions that make up human living. But for the past 3 years, I've been thinking about this concept, this theme, this 3 or 4 dimensions, as the case may be. And I was asking myself questions like, what does it mean to live fully? To fully live. What does it mean to love completely? And what does it mean to learn from life? And then in the end, the ultimate, what does it mean to live a legacy? And it hit me. It hit me so hard I had to, think deep. And something popped. You can't achieve anything in life without understanding these dimensions. So I researched and found valuable studies that postulated that you could actually live life fully, love completely, and learn from experiences. Finally, make an impact, leaving a footprint or a legacy. So these were the things that came to my mind, and I was like, okay, all these basic dimensions, the live, love, learn dimensions, they are not mutually exclusive. They are actually mutually dependent, and with these you can leave a legacy. This was something written by Mark Frankel, somebody I found online who has really in-depth analysis on some of these things, which actually put some flesh on my work. Now, I'm going to break it down for you all to understand where this is headed. First, to live. I'm just going to give you brief outlines so that when we start breaking them down concept by concept, dimension by dimension, we are going to achieve a whole lot, and I'm going to be able to hopefully leave a mark and teach you something new every time we learn something. Now, to live is actually physical. It is a dimension of action in a world that is about survival. So we're living in a world that is about survival. People call it survival of the fittest, but I don't think it's survival of the fittest, because even the unfit still survive. You just have to adapt. So you have to develop an adaptation mechanism. Now, in a world of physical pleasure and pain, because just recently I discovered that there's something called or there are two types of pain. There is the positive pain and the negative pain. As time goes on, as we embark on this journey, I'm going to break it down for you so that we can actually, get to understand what type of pain we might be feeling in whatever situation we find ourselves. Then, although some of these pleasures are short-lived, for example, eating. Now, the pleasure of eating ends after you've had the last bite. Take, for example, you're eating pizza. The moment you get full, or the moment you get to taste the last slice, that's the end of the pleasure of eating. So these are some of the physical attributes of living. So to live is physical. Let me just stop here, because when we start breaking it down, we're going to really get to deep things, and we're going to literally apply it just as I've applied the eating aspect to things. Then, to love is emotional. As we all know, the moment you hear love, all you think about is maybe that significant other, that relationship, or that girlfriend, probably that wife. But to you listeners out there, love goes beyond just that relationship between a couple. Now, but the dimension of love is a dimension of belonging, it's a dimension of caring, it's a dimension of connecting, it's a dimension of loving in itself. Now, in order to access this dimension, you need to put in the work. You need to put in a lot of work. Your work rate needs to be really high, because this involves other people. I would have loved to start quoting like some portions of the Bible that would expatiate my point, but I'll do that when we delve in deeper. Basically, the pleasure of this dimension is much deeper and meaningful than the short-lived pleasure of basically living. And trust me, you would not trade the depth of pure love for money or anything else. So let me just stop here before we go further, then we'll start to talk about deep things, and I'll take your time. Learn is mental. It is a mental dimension of learning. It is also a mental dimension of understanding. It is also a mental dimension of creating, or in other words, innovation. So finding solution to big problems. People could sacrifice the love or emotional dimension because they want to find solution to big problems, but all of them are intertwined. So you can't be one and living the other, because you're not going to be fulfilling life's purpose. One, which encapsulates everything, is to leave a legacy, which is the ultimate, and it is spiritual. So when you are fulfilled, when you are self-actualized, when you are achieving destiny, fulfilling purpose, you are actually trying to, or you're working your way towards leaving a legacy or living for the future generation. And everybody is supposed to think or align their thoughts towards a certain legacy, or towards living a or towards leaving something for the future generation. But as I've been thinking over time, pondering about these things, that's what I've realized, that our fathers, sorry to say, our forefathers did not actually leave a good, or will I say complete legacy for us to work on. They left something for us to work with, but they did not leave a legacy that would stand the test of time. Not all of them did. A few did leave legacies, but not all of them did. Now, to as we embark on this journey, basically, of we're going to really delve deeper into these things, leaving a legacy. We're going to break it down using examples, so that we could actually understand the bigger picture and not just stay stuck with the smaller things. Now, in summary, when you understand these dimensions of life, then life would actually be shorter. Basically, life will be shorter, and you would, get to a point where you start to think that each dimension would not be, there would not be, how do I say this now? You will get to a point in your life where there is not enough time to achieve all that you need to achieve in order to reach the ultimate, which is to leave a legacy for the future generation. Now, so life will be too short to get to complete the legacy dimension. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So, in other words, I'm saying there will be a lot to do. So, understanding these dimensions is key to health, it's key to happiness, it's key to meaning, and beyond. So, there is a whole lot that could be understood from all of this. And so I'm one who likes to ask for opinions from people. So I just asked a dear friend of mine. I asked, when you see or hear the word live as it pertains to life, what comes to your mind first? And she sent a reply with 2 words: God and perseverance. So I asked further, for a definition, what would life, or what would living mean as it pertains to life? And she said, an opportunity to make good use of your years, teaching lives and sustainable change. It is broad, so I was actually touched by her definition. But then there's a whole lot to be achieved, with breaking this down. So I said, okay, this is going to be more like a basis to, or more like the basis to which we could achieve what we want to achieve, with trying to expatiate on these things. So I would stop here because I don't want to really go deeper than I have. This is basically more like an introductory episode for the Live, Love, Learn series. So as we continue this journey, we're going to be breaking it down, and we're not just going to be breaking it down so that I don't give you guys more like a philosophical kind of concept, so that you guys now see it as, oh, this is too deep to understand. I'm going to break it down with examples, giving you things like 8 things you need to do this, 10 things you need to do to achieve this, how can you achieve purpose. I'm also going to be recommending books that you're going to be reading. Also, we could actually, do a whole lot, when we invite people on the podcast to expatiate more on their own aspect, and you could actually learn from their experiences and live through it. So it's a whole lot. It encapsulates a whole lot, and everything we're going to do on this podcast is going to, or everything we're going to do on Pulse Pods is going to be centered around, there's even the comedy and all of that. There's a whole lot to life with that. There's deeper meaning to that. So let's look forward to the next episode, and thank you for listening to episode 1. God bless you, and I pray that I am able to make an impact in your life through this medium. If you have any further questions, for those of you who already have my contact, just send me a message on WhatsApp. If you want to critique this episode, you're free. All we need is for us to move forward together. So thank you for listening, and God bless. See you on the next one. Hello everybody and welcome to Pulse Pods. I am your host DJ El Pablo and you're welcome to episode 2 of Pulse Pods. I'm titled To Live. First off, I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to share deep things with you and find deeper meanings of life. So thank you generally. In the last episode, we did a little bit of introduction into 3 dimensions and the 4th ultimate dimension. The 3 dimensions were to live, to love, and to learn. And then the 4th ultimate dimension, which was to leave a legacy. And basically, all of these dimensions are intertwined and they are related to each other. So today is also the International Women's Day, 9th of March, the 8th of March 2019. So in the last episode I said that to live is physical and it is a dimension of action in the world that is all about survival. Basically survival. What will come to your mind first is survival of the fittest, but then even the unfit still thrive through and they still adapt, with life and make headway. So to live is a dimension of physical pleasure and pain, basically, and most times short-lived, especially in the aspect of pleasure. So sometimes we get to experience short-lived pleasure. For example, in the last episode, I gave an example. I said that the pleasure ends when you have the last bite, when you've just had the last bite, which is for eating. The pleasure ends when you've had the last bite. Now, this week, I would go deeper into living. So, to live, it simply means being aware of life's gifts, both big and small. So one perspective to look at it is being engulfed in life's struggles and hustles, and being engulfed in all of life's struggles and hustles, such that we lose touch of the things that resonate with us. We also lose touch of the things that make us happy and the things that make our hearts sing. For example, losing touch of time, losing touch of the month of the year. Sometimes some people lose touch of the month of the year. Sometimes some people even forget the day of the week it is. But then sometimes we could actually lose track of life itself. Now, you want to live a fulfilled life. That is what you want to do, and that is one of that's one of the driving forces of my embarking on this journey with you, to encourage you to live a successful and a fulfilled life, to achieve purpose and to fulfill your destiny. So you want to live a fulfilled life. If you want to live a fulfilled life, you need to feed your personal passions. Take for example your passion for art, passion for movies, your passion for music, sports, children, animals, technology, even fashion. I am an ardent supporter of Manchester United Football Club in England, and maybe later in this episode I will tell you a bit more about why I mentioned this fact. So I'm feeding my passions for sports. I love fashion, I love music, I'm a DJ, so I should love music. And then technology, for all of you technology lovers, you would feed your passion by, sometimes I know someone who changes phones at every opportunity he gets. So these are some of the gadgets that, when a new phone comes out, people want to go get it because they are tech savvy. Tech savvy, that's the word. So life is too short to waste your time. So even in the midst of your struggles and your hustles, pain and pleasures, celebrate strength, your inner strength. Celebrate friends, celebrate support systems, celebrate resilience, and the ultimate, faith in God. But I've got to say this because I'm going to pay particular attention to friends. Friends are very important and instrumental in our lives, and I am one who loves friendship. I'm one who loves to keep friendship, especially when they are long ones and when they are impactful. I have a friend who I've had for like 12 years. I met him in 2007 when I was in uni, and we've been friends since then, and he has impacted my life in more ways than one. So focus on keeping friends that will impact your life, and for the long run you need these people to make you better, basically. Support systems. I have support systems in my life. I particularly celebrate my mom, my sister, and some of the people, very important personalities in my life that have made life worth living, have made life have meaning and all of that. So celebrate resilience and the ultimate, faith in God, particularly. So sometimes I like to want to do what I call the SWOT analysis of myself, basically trying to understand my strengths, trying to understand my weaknesses, trying to understand the opportunities that are right before me and the things that threaten these opportunities, and all of the other 4 factors. Maybe in also the upcoming episodes, we're going to deal particularly on SWOT, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But before then, I would encourage you to read this book called Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye. You should find the book and read it. It's also available online, PDF version. Just read. There are so many versions of it, but read the one you find and try to understand. It will help you understand better what I mean when I say the SWOT analysis of yourself. So sometimes you also need to appreciate the opportunity while you face the dangers of life. So just as I was saying, SWOT, the O, opportunity. What are the opportunities that are right before you? Now, I would like you to write this down if you can. Life well lived is living well. I'll take it again. A life well lived is living well, regardless of situations and circumstances. Now I like this comedian. His name is Just Too Funny. Sometimes he says things that go viral, but some of the things he says actually make a lot of sense. Sometimes he uses a phrase when he's doing some of his comic, and that phrase is "in all circumstances." To be honest with you, if you look deeper than just the comic and the fact that he makes you laugh, you would know that in all circumstances you should laugh. Sometimes life can be taken too seriously and you forget the true essence. But sometimes you need some time to actually, laugh and just enjoy the things that you see. You enjoy nature, enjoy friends, and all of that. So yeah, in all circumstances, regardless of your situation, a life well lived is living well. Now, there will always be someone who is richer, who is poorer, who is happier, who is less fortunate, and probably who is better than you. But you need to strive towards getting better at what you do. And even the Bible says the poor will remain with you. So what are you doing to impact that person, that next person? I'd like to remember one of the trending videos online. Nigeria just completed their elections, and the incumbent was retained, and basically people said, make a statement like, if someone comes to beg me, I'll tell them to go and meet the president because he's the one you voted for and all of that. And the pastor came and debunked everything with also a viral video, and it was like, that's not the true essence of living, that's not the true essence of impact, and that's not what Jesus was preaching in the Bible and all of that. So we need to understand like these deep things. Sometimes I also like to ask myself questions. I would advise you, try sometimes to do an audit of yourself and your progress and all of that, and so that you can be able to understand whether you're actually moving or whether you're moving fast or you're moving slowly or you're stagnant. So I like to ask myself questions sometimes, and I think you should ask yourself these questions. You have a gift, so what are you doing with it? Now, are you aware of the blessings as they appear? Or are you aware also of the opportunities as they present themselves? You need to be able to figure out these opportunities and how you can be able to harness the strength that comes from facing these opportunities and taking advantage of them. So some years back, 2015 to be precise, I remember I was driving to work one day, and I realized that everybody was driving also to one place or the other, and something hit me, and I actually thought to myself, even when my brain paused for a minute to think about it, I thought to myself, like, everybody's chasing something, or something's chasing them. So what are you chasing, and what's chasing you? And I wrote an article to that effect on a blog, and in that article I wrote something. I said, life is a chase, and it is either you are chased by something or something is chasing you. So you've got to recognize that not everything is worth your time. Not everything is worth your time. Sometimes you've got to keep it moving. You've got to keep it moving. So whatever you're doing, keep it moving. Keep it moving. There's no time to waste your time. Life is too short to waste your time. Everything in life is all about the prize. Everybody is running, and the race is individual. So I'd like to encourage you by referring you to a portion of the Bible, 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 10 to 11, and 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 6 to 8. I repeat, 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 10 to 11, and 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 6 to 8, and focus on trying to finish well and keep the faith as well, because life will distract you. So it is all about you staying on track and trying to keep faith, believing in God, and then all of your dreams will come to pass. Now, there is so much, I believe, going on right now in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts. There's a lot going on right now, even in your head as you think. But you've got to understand that you need to harness that noise, the noise that you hear in your head. You need to harness it into productivity so it doesn't become a noisome pestilence. Think about it. There is so much noise going on in your mind right now, but you've got to harness the noise into productivity so it doesn't become a noisome pestilence. But then hardships exist to harden you for tougher challenges in your next stage of life and in the future as well. You need to think about it this way, like sometimes we face hardships and we begin to second guess ourselves and second guess our beliefs, but the truth about it is they are there to toughen you. Temptations and trials come your way to toughen you for the next level, and there's nothing that is more than you, because God did not design it to be more than you. God designed it for you to conquer it. So I would like to encourage you that the only one of the ways there's no hard and fast rule to succeed, but one of the ways to achieve success is this: write your vision, as the Bible says. Write your vision, make it plain. But God, who knows the desires of your heart, will make provision for that vision that you have written. Because of the fact that you wrote the vision down, you make provision for the vision. I am a living testimony, and in the coming months, you're going to be seeing the evidence of, or hearing the evidence of writing a vision, making it plain, presenting it before God, presenting your case, and then God making a provision for that vision. Now, the conditions for a miracle is difficulty, but forward impossibility episode. That on this episode, that I'm an ardent, let me look for another word. I'm a staunch supporter of Manchester United, and over the last 2 days, basically on Wednesday, precisely, Manchester United actually witnessed a miracle. And this is how it went. 3 weeks before now, Manchester United played against a team, Paris Saint-Germain. And they were the underdogs, basically. Yeah, they went into the game with so much confidence, but their hopes were dashed when Paris Saint-Germain beat Manchester United 2-0 at home in Old Trafford. And by the time it was the return leg, which was on Wednesday, 2 days ago, Manchester United overturned the victory against all odds. And the key word that was resonating with everybody, including the fans and the players, even the coaching staff, was belief. Now, I loved to use the example because they believed in themselves and their ability to overturn the victory, and they achieved success against all odds, even when they were termed as underdogs and they were not even given a chance. And Paris Saint-Germain, obviously 17 points ahead in the French league, were full of confidence and all of that. And in the end, they went out on goals difference, on away goals, basically, in the game. So, using this, I would like to encourage you to believe in yourself. Set out your plans, set out deadlines for each day. Set out a plan, set a deadline for that day, for the plans to be achieved. And I, for one, will tell you, I feel very happy when I set a plan of something I want to do in a day, and I achieve it. I feel fulfilled. Set out a plan, write it down if possible. Sometimes let it be plain in your head, the plans you have for the day. And then when you achieve it, you feel very fulfilled that you've actually achieved that target. Sometimes you need to set deadlines as well for whatever you want to do, and watch yourself achieve that. On that note, this particular segment of this episode has come to an end, and the next section of it would be the commemoration of the International Women's Day, which is a day that celebrates women. And this year's theme is Balanced for Better, which is something that is deeper. And the truth about it, if you were to write a whole article on it, you could write a book on Balanced for Better. It covers, it's multifaceted, so it covers like a wide range of aspects of life in general, and with the equality and the sensitivity of women, and appreciating and celebrating them. So I want to particularly celebrate you women, because you are great, beautiful beings, superhumans. I've loved two, and I mean like two, my mom and my sister, and I know their capabilities, and I know that they are people who are set out to achieve whatever they want to achieve. And when they set their mind to do it, they don't sway. They just continue thriving and pushing through. Amongst other women that I have met in my life and I have kept as friends for a long time, some 10 years, some 9 years, some 11 years, we've been friends. There's some I met in 2007 and we're still friends till today. Despite the distance, despite the communication, despite whatever challenges we might face. But then I always love to celebrate friendship, and I want to particularly celebrate the women, especially you that's listening to this podcast right now. I celebrate you. You're strong, you're beautiful, you are a blessing to nations, you are birthing nations. And just know this: we men believe in you, and we believe that you can achieve more with what you have and with the gifts that you've been given. So focus on living a fulfilled life, trying to reach your destiny, trying to achieve purpose, because that's the only essence you can find in living. So I really celebrate you. And on that note, I would like to say thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for taking your time to listen. I really want to celebrate you. I really want to appreciate you. But before I go, I would like to say something, and I'll ask you a question at the end, of which I would like you to respond however you can. Truth about it is, I saw this trending video online, on Twitter, and in this video, it was a lady who was hitting a guy. She was hitting this guy, and he wasn't responding. He wasn't retaliating until she slapped him in a way that it resonated like a tuning fork. And the truth about it is, it was shocking, because this kind of slap, that you slap somebody, that occurs between the lower jaw and the neck, the sound of that slap is deep. It's not the normal slap you hear. It's deep. And the guy, actually, the first thing he did was he reacted. And when he reacted, he took the lady off the ground and slammed her to the floor again. And then people defended. Now, the amazing thing that I found in that video was the fact that people never reacted when the lady was hitting the guy. But when the guy reacted, people came to her rescue. I was wondering, so why are you there if you're going to watch two people fight and then you don't respond until the guy now decides to retaliate? I fought the guy in one way. I fought the lady who was doing the hitting in another way, and I also fought, the people who were watching things unfold. And I would like to ask a question: who's at fault? The guy that's been hit, or the girl that is hitting, or the people that are watching? I, for one, fought all three, but I want to hear your take. That's basically what I have to say. But one way in which I can say I fault the guy is, if he knew that it was going to escalate, if he thought about it that this was probably going to escalate, he would have walked away from the scenery or the scenario. But the lady who was hitting, I fault her because no matter how hard somebody annoys you, there are better ways to resolve the situation. And then for the people who are watching, I also fault them, because why would you watch two people fight and then only come to the rescue of the lady when she's lifted off the ground and slammed to the floor? So I would like to hear your take. You can also send me your comments on your responses to this question on social media. So you can send me a message on Instagram. You can actually send me a message on this podcast as well. Comment below through whatever platform you're listening to it. You could also send me a message on Facebook Messenger through Paul Edozie. Send it through Facebook Messenger, or even comment on my wall or timeline. As well, you could send me a message on Instagram through Paul Edozie _ DJ El Pablo, or you could just simply search DJ El Pablo, as in DJ ELPABLO, and you find me. And then you could also send me a message on Twitter. Twitter me at Mr. _ El Pablo, or just simply search for DJ El Pablo on Twitter and you'll find me. So I would like to thank you for listening to this podcast. I'd like to thank you for taking our time to follow through on this ride, and I would like to encourage you to share with your friends the links and have them listen in and be encouraged and be impacted, because that's the sole aim of trying to do this. And I would like to also appreciate every woman out there. Continue being a blessing, continue thriving, continue succeeding, continue achieving great things. We, the men, would do our best to support you however we can, and you would also support us. I said something to someone some time back, and I said, when God created the heavens and the earth, He didn't go to the next day of creation without seeing to it that what He created the previous day was good. And then check out, on the sixth day He created man. He said, let us make man in our own image, after our own likeness. Let him have dominion over the earth and the seas and all of the things that existed. And he made man. Yeah, He made man, it was good, but He saw that it was not good for a man to be alone. What did He do? He put the man to sleep, took out a rib, and created a woman. That was the only time God saw that it was not good. Every other time, every other thing created was good. But when He created man, He saw that it was not good for him to be alone. So we need these women in our lives to impact our lives. I am also a part of a movement called the Ideal Man Initiative, and we are all about raising responsible men and boys for the society, the family, and for themselves. So maybe in the upcoming episodes, we would invite people to come and talk on this topic. We're trying to create or change a narrative about men being beasts and men having to behave a certain way, and we're trying to let you understand that we men also go through a whole lot. So in a bit to encourage you, I would say thank you again for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe, send in your comments, send in your reviews, and you could also suggest topics you would like us to discuss, and we would do justice to it. So thank you. Once again, I am yours truly, DJ El Pablo, and thank you for listening to this podcast. See you on the next one. God bless you.